Hello, this is Dr. Barry Trunk, and I wanted to make a short video to my MCC 504 Qualitative Research and Program Evaluation students to say hello and to introduce myself a bit more personally than just the online format that we have in our course room. Just a bit about myself. I am from Los Angeles, born and raised, and went to UCLA for undergraduate work and then to Cal State Long Beach for a master's degree, and frankly got tired of living a Southern California lifestyle. I went to Columbus, Ohio for my 4 years of doctoral work and received my PhD in statistics and in developmental psychology. Been teaching in the Midwest area for quite a long time, and have taught everyone from first term freshmen at Morningside University, where I work here in Sioux City, Iowa, all the way to doctoral research fellows at Capella University, a job that I had for 18 years and recently retired from. I wanted to let you know just a bit about myself. Some of you might have caught the subtle signs that I am still a Beatlemaniac. I've got my Let It Be t-shirt on, and here is my Beatles cup with some lemonade in it, and you may notice that behind me is a Beatle poster, and the throw rug that I am covering, but maybe you saw when the video started, was actually Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. When I'm not teaching at Bellevue and other places that I am adjunct faculty, I do play music at different locations, including restaurants and clubs and coffee shops and things like that, but most especially assisted living. So I've learned many songs from the 30s and 40s, and I enjoy visiting my friends who are in either assisted care or in some form of nursing home, and watching them enjoy the music, seeing the memories kind of come back when they hear songs that they may not have heard in many decades. It's very enjoyable pastime for myself. In terms of our course, I wanted just to mention that the modern counselor, of which you guys are learning to become, is expected to know more than just a bit about statistics and just a bit about qualitative research methods. And that's why I'm really happy to be teaching at Bellevue, where we do offer an entire graduate 12-week course in statistics and the same in qualitative methods. Our goal here is probably never to actually use these methods ourselves, but to understand the writings of other people who have used them. So unless you are planning to perhaps go to graduate school and write a quantitative dissertation, you're probably never going to do statistics using statistical software and things of that nature. The same might be said for qualitative methods such as phenomenology or ethnography or grounded theory. But you're going to be reading about them and using the results of these research studies to perhaps form your own eclectic version of your therapeutic style and preferences for the clients that you are going to be seeing. And in that sense, I think that these courses are very valuable to you and for you. Let me mention a bit about the pro paper. Since you're in 504, you're already somewhat familiar with it. It is a university mandated requirement to write an original paper that, in the case of 504, looks at a program evaluation. Now, we should emphasize, since we're just kind of starting the course, but just to kind of clear up any misconceptions, you're not actually doing a program evaluation, but you are pretending that you're doing a program evaluation. So for instance, you may choose an organization like Boys Town in Omaha, and you can go to their website. You don't visit their campus, you don't call anybody, you don't interact with anybody. This isn't a live version of a program evaluation, but it's more like you are being hired as a consultant by Boys Town to say, look at our program dealing with children that have come to us from abusive homes. These are what we are currently doing. What do you think about it? How would you improve it? What might be some suggestions you would make? Is there anything that seems to be ineffective to you? So it's a hypothetical paper of an evaluation using the rubric that is in the course room area. I've also sent you guys an example paper, and as long as you start early and give it some serious consideration, it's unlikely that anybody is not going to get their 80%. I've taught at Bellevue for going on 12 years now, and I can probably count maybe on two hands, maybe even on one, the number of times someone has not passed the probe assignment when given two chances to do so. So it's a very rare thing. Now, that's not to say that it's easy. You need to do the work, you need to look at the example paper, to follow the headings in the rubric, to write professionally, to use proper citations in the paper and references at the end of the paper. So let's talk about that for just a moment. First of all, how long should your paper be? About 10 pages, which is not counting the title page and the abstract and the references and any other materials that aren't, part of the paper itself. 7 to 10 pages is plenty of work. You don't need to make a 25-page paper or anything like that. How many references do you need? I would say a minimum of 5 and probably 10 or so going towards the upper end of things. References, of course, should be on the more recent side. What do we mean by more recent? Probably in the last 10 years or so would be considered more recent. That's not to say, however, that if you have a source that's historically important, say that your paper has something to do with behavior modification, and you might want to give credit to B.F. Skinner or one of the other early pioneers of behavioral therapy that was done in the 40s or so, that's perfectly fine. But just some article that was written in 1985 that sort of talks about what you're looking at is probably not going to be taken seriously by a modern reader unless it really has, tremendous current implications from the research that was done. So try to stay within the last 10 years or so. If you're not sure, let me know. And speaking of that, I'm a very approachable kind of person. I do have my Bellevue email alarmed on my phone, and when I get an email, often I'm able to email you back right away. Otherwise, I will answer you fairly quickly. I also invite you to call me or to text me. My number's in the syllabus. I don't mind you doing so. I'm more than happy to talk to you, and I would much rather you call and we chat for a few minutes to clear up any kind of confusion than for you to sit and wonder and kind of fuss and stress over it when none of that is actually necessary. I appreciate that you guys are taking the class. I know that all of you are busy adults with full lives and responsibilities, and taking on graduate work is not a small feat. It is something you don't just kind of jump into lightly. So I take my hat off to you for that. I'm here for you, and I would also just end by saying I live in Sioux City, Iowa. If you ever find yourself coming up this way, let me know, and we'll meet at Starbucks and have a cup of coffee and say hello to each other. So thank you for taking the course, and I will see you all online.